everyone, and welcome to our next Ascension Teachings Q&A. So this month I will bring forth for you the Hathors, and today we have Isabel and Claire joining. Hi ladies, welcome.
Hello.
Hello. All right, so I'm going to read out a message that they brought forth in regards to this session. So D1s. Frequency within dimensional portals is your access to communicate with your multidimensional self, multidimensional manifestations of source, and the unique multidimensional self which you perceive as one another. It is a perception of another separate being, which is a unique multidimensional being of you, as you are one. We intend to come through to teach of such dimensional frequencies and portals that are all existing within you. However, as you play this game of duality consciousness, such dimensional portals can be perceived outside of you, and you can attune to these to connect with others and versions of yourself. We wish to share the technologies of frequency that creates you, your world, and all that is. Frequency in all forms, in all explorations, is your key of self-discovery to access your oneness state in all multidimensional expressions. We love you, for we are you, and we are one. Right, so I'm very excited to bring these beings through for you. I have seen firsthand how they exist in my perception, how they have shown me, and how they interact with the multidimensional reality. So it's very exciting. I'm very looking forward to this session. All right, so without further ado, I'll go now into trance and bring them forth for you. Dear ones, we are the Hathors, and we are honored to come through in this way. Dear ones, you are multidimensional in nature. You are the universe. You are all that is. You are the universe. You are the stars. You are the skies. You are your brothers and sisters, my dear ones. You are frequency vibrating in the energy of all that is source code, that is source consciousness. You are that. You are source. But dear ones, you see yourself as lesser than. You see yourself as separate as source, as separate to your brothers and sisters. This is the journey for the human collective race as you move from duality consciousness to the remembrance of your true state, that is oneness. Oneness has always been your true nature. It is just the journey through the human collective contracts that you have entered and are experiencing that allows you to experience reality in the way that you perceive all around you. My dear ones, you look around in your reality and you judge it for what it is. You judge it for what you see. You may perceive things in your life or in society as wrong, as lesser than, as not as expanded as you think it should be. You look to other worlds, to other timelines, and you seek out these different time periods because you think they are more advanced. You think that this world is lesser than, is not as involved, but my dear ones, it is highly involved. It is more involved than any other timelines in your experiencing. It is just in your perception that you see otherwise, because you are still holding on to these dimensions based in duality consciousness. You are so highly advanced. It's just you haven't reached a certain vibration point where you've remembered the totality of who you truly are. It is a journey. It is just one step at a time. As you know, my dear ones, as you move through the multidimensional experience that you are, you then activate more of your soul contracts. You activate the wisdom that lies within you, the wisdom that lies within all of you, even those who are not on the journey to remember who they are. For everyone is on this journey. Everyone is highly advanced. It's just not everyone chose to remember. You are frequency beings. You are vibrating in a certain frequency due to why you chose to come here. You are connected to many, we would say, connections. You have different soul contracts experiencing in human form that allows you to be connected to certain individuals in your perception, connected to different scenarios that you chose to explore before coming here. And it's a pathway of expansion that allows you to remember why you were here and why you were created and why you chose to be manifested in human form. It is here. It is why you are here, living and breathing as a source manifested being, which you call as a human being, that proves to you how advanced that you are. Only the most advanced beings were able to come here in this time continuum, which you see. Even those people that you see around you in your society that you deem as lesser than, who you deem as wrong. They are highly advanced beings. They are playing the role for you. It is a journey, my dear ones. It is all happening for you, playing roles for you to allow you to go inwards and to allow you to activate the powerful being that you are. We come through with these teachings to allow you to activate this within yourself. These words that we speak are words you already know. It is the internal wisdom that already flows through you and all that is. We are not saying anything new here because you all know this. It's just you have forgotten it for yourself. Now, my dear ones, as you expand through the multidimensional life that you are experiencing in, Gaia and all its elements also expands with it. The universe expands with it. How you communicate with your brothers and sisters, how you connect to your brothers and sisters and all that is will change as you raise your frequency, as you activate more of the source particle within you, as you activate those multidimensional imprints within your divine blueprint that has access to your multidimensional lives, both living here and also many different planets at once, many different timelines at once. This is why so many of you are bringing forth different abilities, and they are very unique. Sometimes these abilities have not been, we would say, explored in this way on earth before, because it's coming through you, because you are highly advanced. Nothing that comes through you is ever the same. What comes through you is highly unique, and it is the tools and the abilities to allow you to explore why you came here, my dear ones. So as you raise your frequency, you can tap into the multidimensional power that you are living in. Now, when we say this, we say there's no need to focus on your multidimensional life. It's by living in the present. However, by living in the present, you can tap into these abilities in the now. It is a portal, and there are many portals playing out in your reality. In higher truth, all dimensional portals are within you, for all that is within you, for you are the universe. But because you are still attached to duality consciousness, we would say that we are assisting you playing this game, and as such, you are able to perceive such dimensional portals, such dimensional connections that is outside of yourself, because you are still attached to duality consciousness. In higher truths, you do not need to do this. But let's just say we will honor this game for you because you are still attached in duality. and we love you dearly. So I invite you to go further inwards, and we wish to explore how you can connect not only to your higher self in your terminology, your soul self, but how you can connect to the elements of you, the elements of Gaia, to your brothers and sisters in new expanded ways because you are ready for it. And we love you dearly.
Thank you. I actually do want to, I did have an experience. I was meditating with Osiris, and when I was meditating, I saw these green dots and then lines around it, and then they turn into triangles. And he said, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I think I'm seeing the grid. I'm seeing the matrix." And then, you know, I went about my day, and I did get confirmation that that was indeed what I was seeing. And I think you're right. Because I'm still tied into duality, I do see dimensions outside of myself. And now I'm starting to see dimensions, like just hiking, and I see like, oh, I think that's a portal. But it's so new for my awareness, as I would say.
This energy is everywhere. Everything is vibrating. The trees are vibrating. The very computer is vibrating. All that is energy. And as you go further inwards, the veil comes down further, and you are able to see more of your existence, your true reality, which is energy. As you become more sensitive to energies, you start to see the energy in areas you may not have seen energy before. So what you see are portals. They would say all that exists in your terminology in between spaces is energy codes. It is source codes. And source codes are created in different ways to allow you to live in this illusion which you chose. It is a game here. So when you say matrix, we would say it is a game mainframe which you chose to explore life in. Now, the fact that you can see these portals, these certain, we would say, gateways, it is for you to explore on a personal level, for it aligns to why you came here. And just because you see them doesn't mean no one else can see them. My D1, it is everywhere. If you chose to explore this journey of exploring different multidimensional portals, and you will experience it. You will have the tools and abilities to experience it with your own eyes. You'll be able to feel it. Now, my D1s, you can do this in any state. Let's do an exercise right now, shall we? My D1, we would say, close your eyes. We would say, reach your hand out. Now, we would say, turn all your senses on. You may wish to move your hand gently in the air. What are you feeling? Are you feeling static? Are you feeling a magnetism? Are you feeling a tingling? What are you feeling?
Yes.
This is energy. Now turn on your senses of sight. What are you seeing? What are you seeing around your hand? See beyond the illusion. See what the physical eyes cannot see at times. Can you sense a color? Can you see a movement of energy? Everyone has this ability, but it's not in your focus, so you ignore this. As you become sensitive, you'll be able to experiment more with this. With time, you'll be able to play with this and see the movement of energy around your hands. You'll be able to feel it. You'll be able to move it. This is showing you that all is energy, and there is no such thing as empty space. Practice this technique, and this will allow your sight to be more enhanced to the unseen.
Aw, thank you. It does feel like when I go into my psychic ability, it feels like when I allow my gaze to soften and so I can see the aura in my hand. And I do see the energy in the air waver. Okay. All right. Thanks for letting me know that that's normal.
And D1, sometimes you use your imagination, but this is real. You may think it's make-believe when you do this exercise. You go, oh, well, that's just my imagination. It is not. It is a dimension where you are seeing energy. You are a God creator. If something comes to in your imagination, it is truth. It is showing a dimension that exists. So trust in this imagination aspect of you. It's your creativity. It is a God particle of you. You've just been conditioned to attribute your imagination to make believe.
Yes. I'm beginning to understand that the make believe is really the truth.
As you practice this, you will be able to see more energy patterns. Many of you do see the aura, do see the energy shifts in between space. So this exercise can be used in all aspects of your existence. You can even use this to communicate with one another. You pick up the telephone. You use your computer technologies to communicate with others. However, because you are one, all this energy, there is a way for you to connect through this way. And you can use this with your imagination. You are co-creating here with the universe to access the oneness portal that connects you with your intended person. As you make the intention, you make a connection. You are imprinting energy. All of you have the ability to imprint energy here. You do this with your intentions. You can make the intention to connect to someone. But most of you disregard this sort of this communication and you doubt your abilities. The person may not be in a state in their journey where they are conscious of the connection, but they will receive that connection regardless. So you can practice with this. Make the intention to connect to one of your brothers and sisters. If this is too complicated to start with, we advise you may start by connecting to a tree, connecting to the bird, connecting to an element of nature, if this has less resistance for you. But practice this, make the intention to connect. Now you can use different techniques here. You can visualize, say, a cord going between you and that other person and make the intention that this person is receiving the cord and this energy and is able to be aware that they are connecting with you. There are different ways you can play with this. So we don't want to go too far into this exploration right here because we would like to express to you these we would say these foundational practices to establish the connection that all there is connected and you have the ability to do so.
Kimberly and we were talking and she was saying, and Kimberly, I know you're right there too, but remember you were describing an entity moving, seeing like many screens or many windows, and they were moving these windows about in dimensions. And then I had a session with a client and she also saw these windows and dimensions. And so I talked to Isis and I said, Isis, can you help me with dimensions? And the blue variants came in and they were saying that you can take an aspect of one dimension and pull it into your dimension, and you can push and pull energy, and that higher entities without the fear or whatever can manipulate the energy, like what you were saying earlier, playing with the energies. But am I understanding that you can pull threads from different dimensions into your dimension?
There are different techniques you can use here to connect to different dimensions, we would say. The different dimensions are existing in the multiverse. And as you explore connecting with energy, you are able to access this. You can use your inner guidance here. Listen to the words that are coming within you and the guidance. But yes, we would say bringing dimensional portals to you is a step-by-step process, but we would say the process for you may be different for other beings, we would say, because it relates to your soul contracts. So yes, this particular example you are referring to here, it allows you to see the dimensions at play here. Now, because of the multidimensional experience that you are able to connect to different dimensions. Now, the experience that Kimberley was telling you about was about the Hathor nature in being able to communicate multidimensionally by observing the different dimensions in the present now and being able to tap into these dimensions, being able to have a sight of them and use a magnetism frequency to then, we would say, connect to a certain dimension and communicate with beings in that dimension. And then because there are different, we would say, components to, we would say, the reality of the dimensions that we exist in beyond the human form, we have those, we would say, conditions at play that allows us to do this, we would say. So there is that ability out there. However, you need to connect to the oneness portal within you in the present moment to be able to do that. So there are many ways that humans can do this in the present now. So by doing that, if you see a dimension, we would say a dimension that you wish is favorable to you, if it is shown to you, it means you are seeing a dimension. It may not be in your reality, but it is dimension in existence. And you are seeing it for a reason. So interact with this dimension. As you see it, make the intention to allow this dimension to remain in your experiencing. And as you see this, hold this. It might be a flash. You may think it's your imagination. You may see more physical evidence of it. And as you see it, make the intention to interact with it. Engage with it. When you act on it physically, in a physical sense, whether it is a spoken word or whether it is a movement, you then have an energy interplay between that dimension, which signals that you are ready for this dimension to be attracted in your conscious awareness, in the now, in your present experiencing. So this is one way that the humans can do this and interact with different dimensions. When you go inwards, when you do your meditative practice, you have less resistance here. And you may see different dimensions interplaying here. So connect that way if there is less resistance, or make the intention. Make the intention to see a dimension that you wish to explore that is for your highest good, and allow it to be shown to you. Trust the process. Once it's shown to you, you're ready to access that dimension. Make the intention to connect to that dimension and interact with it. And as you interact with it, you'll be shown another portal for you to interact with it, to enter it in different, we would say, experiencing. The first step might be just to interact with it on a physical level, even though you see it as not manifested fully in your experiencing. That is a one step. And as you get comfortable with this, it may transform into something else. Continue to interact with it. You may then feel guided to add more elements to it. They might show you another portal for you to engage in. It is all connected to that intention. Now, we would say what you truly want is sometimes different to what you wanted to explore here. Everything is aligned to your highest good. So we would say, if you wish, you can control this. But we would say what's aligned to your soul contracts here is to allow that dimension to be shown to you. If you can trust that process, you can play with it. You can play with a dimension where you are out going to buy a cup of coffee, for instance. See that vision in front of you and interact with it. And that you will find at some stage, you will interact with that in your physical reality. It might be changing somewhat, but this will just show you that you've then attracted that dimension to your physical reality. You can play with this on many different levels here. But use all your senses, interact physically with it. And as you get comfortable, then you can start projecting your energies to it. It can be colors, words, vibrational sounds. You can play with this. You are a God creator. So go play here. But the portal to access all of this is the portal of the present now. This is where your true power lies. So you are more easily able to see these and experience these dimensions while you're in the present now. It could be a dimension in your perceived past. It can be a dimension perceived that's on a different world, but they're all playing out simultaneously because time is not linear and you have access to your multidimensional experience. So go play.
Thank you. That was wonderful. I think a simple exercise of meditating on a good cup of coffee and really make it fun and add colors and conversation is a great way to begin trust in the power of playing with dimensions.
But just know that if you create this dimension, as in if it wasn't shown to you, but you create it with your own God creator abilities, know that what will come to you may be different because you created it. So if you can do that, if you can let go and detach from what it might show up in your reality, then you can experiment more and you can trust the process more. There are many universal laws interplaying here. But remember, all is energy and all is multidimensional. This is why we always talk about being in the present moment. Because while you're in the present moment, you're tapping into the portal of the true nature of who you are. If you dwell in dimensions of the past or the future, you're not accessing the portal that you have the ability to connect to your true, powerful, multidimensional experience. But make the intention, imprint energy. All is energy. You are energy. And because you are energy, you can connect to all that is. Even though many of you doubt this ability. And your very friends.
Yes. That's full of energy. So we have a question from a member that she would like answered. And it is, I live in the woods and more I'm experiencing the trees as light beings, grounded deep in the earth and reaching high into the sky, integrating the two energies on our behalf. I particularly experience the trees as Hathor related. Is there any truth to this perception?
The trees are aspects of you. You are aspects of Gaia. You are aspects of all that is, and all is connected. And how perceptive is this to see the trees as a living, breathing organism, not just in the form of a plant, but in a form of an energy system, in a form that allows you to live your life in this illusion. Mighty One, all is connected. If you have a sense that the Hathors are connected to this, then it is a sign that they are pointing this out to you for a reason, and you have a connection to us. So trust in this. Trust in the guidance. Why was this tree shown to you? Why was this perception shown to you? It is there for a reason. It is to show you that all is frequency and all is connected. Connecting to the earth, connecting to the sky, communicating energy, frequencies. They're intelligent beings, the trees, as are all Gaia's elements. And you are intelligent beings, not just intellectually. We are talking about the intelligence of Source that is limitless. So D1, if you are drawn to this, if you see this in your reality, connect to this tree. It is teaching you a lesson here. And we were showing you this lesson for a reason. Ask it. Ask the trees, what would it like to show you? What does it wish to teach you? It is a step one. We are always there with you, Mighty One.
Thank you so much. Claire, do you have any questions?
Hi, yeah, you kind of answered the question. First, just thank you so much for allowing me to connect with you this way. The question is, you were talking about how we can play with other dimensions. And I was thinking about how sometimes when we'd like to manifest something in our life, we can visualize this and to feel that experience and to imagine we're in that experience. Is that the same thing, or is that like a way of creating the dimension? And how can we more exercise that in our lives to get the most of it?
If you choose to create your reality, you're then in a state of control. We would say this is not wrong, but we would say it might not be aligned to your soul contracts, to what you came here to explore. So we would say focus on a dimension that has a feeling, not a specific outcome. You may, if you wish to do a specific outcome, you can do this. However, we ask you to detach from this because it will show up in a different way. And many of you find it challenging to detach from this. So this is why, if you wish to create the pathway to discover who you truly are, it is to focus on who you truly are. It is the freedom state that you are, the love that you are, the oneness that you are. So we would say, if you want to attract more of the dimension that comes into your reality, that fulfills your journey here, that fulfills your life calling here, then we would say, use your imagination to play with a dimension where there is oneness, where there is love, but no specific outcomes. We would say on this aspect. Because if you do this, yes, it might be fun and you can play with this as previously mentioned, but we would say for you to uncover more of your past, you can use this by imprinting the energies. You are shown dimensions all the time, but sometimes they are very fleeting and you disregard them, or you do not feel like you are worthy of them. Increase your sense of self-worth here. your sense of oneness here. And ask yourself, what is it that you wish to control? Why do you want to control certain dimensions to come to you? That is the question there. If you wish to experience more love and more oneness reflected in your physical reality, then focus on that dimension. Focus on a dimension where there is oneness recognized in society, if you will. And experience that and concentrate and focus on that feeling of love and freedom that is generated. And then allow that to activate your path further. You may wish to manifest the coffee shop, but it will be just turned out in a different way to what you really wanted it to be. It is about control and letting go of control, and about trust. Once you're in a place of joy and happiness, you are then vibrating in a dimension that is aligned to who you truly are. Make the intention to stay further in this dimension. Interact with this dimension. Use your physical words, physical actions. Start to see the energies around it in that dimension. Start to see the colors in that dimension. Start to see the colors in that dimension around your body, to allow that, we would say, frequency in a form of what you perceive as color to be then matched to the dimension of the now. Experiment with this. But trust the process. Focus on the oneness that you are, the love that you are. Interact with this on all aspects of your senses here. You are a powerful God creator. You were given imagination for a reason. It is a tool for you to allow you to interact with these energies and these portals. You are one big vibrating portal in the multiverse. Whenever you experience fear and doubt, you are then vibrating in a dimension where it's less aligned to who you truly are. You are always moving in and out of portals. You are a multidimensional being. If you see fear in your society, you are then vibrating in a certain dimension of Gaia where there is fear existing. Gaia expands just like you, and all that is expands just like you. If you see fear manifest in your reality, then you are just experiencing a dimension that is attached to the illusion. It's not who you truly are. So the dimensions of who you truly are in oneness, where all is one, and we would say that others recognize this in a oneness state, where love is felt with all, is out there in the multiverse. It's just you as a collective are so attached to duality consciousness. You're not allowing this dimension to be brought forth into your reality. We would say it is on the way, one step at a time. It is already there. You are already vibrating in this dimension, because in higher truth, all the dimensions are already within you for your source. And we understand this can be quite complicated to comprehend in a human sense. And this is why we discuss dimensions as outside of yourself, because you're still attached to duality consciousness. But know that all dimensions are within you. It's about recognizing first that you are powerful. If you do not feel like you are worthy, you will not have access to these portals. You have to let go of the belief systems that you are not capable enough, that you have limitations, for you do not. You are source. Let go of this conditioning that society has we would say, let you be kept in certain programming. Programming was there for a reason, and programming is always shifting. It is a program of life that you chose to explore here. Experiment it with all your senses. You are advanced enough in your conscious awareness for you all advanced, but because you have enough wisdom coming to the surface now, it has been activated within you, that you are able to now play with these higher ideas and these higher perspectives. You would not be here otherwise. You would not be watching or listening to this otherwise. So trust your abilities. You're ready to explore your physical reality in more ways than you could ever comprehend. So play and experiment. But just know that all aspects of your life is just as important. And you can experiment with this in all aspects, as the cup of coffee or connecting to another planet. It is just the same. It is a game of creativity. It is a game of expansion. It is a game of love. It is a game of oneness remembrance. And this is why so many of us are here assisting you in your remembering. Because you are ready. Because in reality, in the high truth of who you are, you as a collective have chosen to remember the oneness state. And as such, you have moved through the dimensions of duality consciousness, and you are vibrating in dimensions of oneness. Even though you are existing there, you are still attached in your belief system to duality consciousness. And this is why you see the transition. This is why you experience fear, but also love. Why you also always experience duality in some form, but you have glimpses of oneness. You may only experience this when you do your meditations. But it's possible to feel oneness in all areas of your life. It's about opening up all your senses, letting go of the conditioning that you are still holding on to in your programming, in your ego mind. That's why we say connect to the heart center. It is another portal within your being. It is within the heart center where your divine blueprint lies, that allows you to connect to your multidimensional nature that exists in the high frequency. So play with this. And we are very excited for your journey. You as a collective are ready for more because you've asked for more. It is part of your contracts. And this is why you are here. You've chosen to play a role in what you call as the Great Awakening. Many of you are aware of your roles, and some of you are seeing glimpses of your role, and some of you seek out more guidance in relations to your role. But you are already doing it by doing the inward journey. As you vibrate, as you connect to the portal of your heart center, you vibrate out signals that connects to other light beings, that activates further your divine blueprint. It is the inner work which activates the divine blueprint, and that activates the portal to your multidimensional self. But practice connection with energy in your perceived external environment. This will give you evidence to you that all is energy. And when you see these energies in your everyday surroundings, explore it on many different ways. Interact with it in many different ways, for it is source code. You are source code. Everything is vibrating. Everything is shifting. You are multidimensional beings of love.
Thank you for that.
It is one step at a time. And we know this can be very challenging because you are thrust in the illusion, yet you have glimpses of oneness. And the contrast between the two can be quite jarring and can be quite challenging to comprehend in your human sense. So some of you find it more comfortable for you to then stay in the illusion of reality. On the other hand, some of you find it too challenging to deal with the illusion of physical reality, so you choose to live in, in those higher dimensions. we would say those higher dimensions still involves embracing what you call as lower dimensional existence, what you call as mundane existence, what you call as the illusion. Some of you wish to focus on these higher perspective in your everyday life, and you choose to ignore the mundane, choose to ignore the fear-based scenarios in your life. But it's not about ignoring it, it's about embracing all of it. For as you embrace all of it, you assist in the, we would say, the collective contracts of all that is. You assist in the purging of unwanted programming that is no longer needed, and you assist in the activation in oneness, remembrance, in the collective consciousness of all that is. It is a process. Now, we know that it can be challenging for you to face these different dimensions in your reality. It is easy to focus on the joy, and this is beneficial for you, for you do not want to dwell in the fear. However, you do not want to ignore the fear. If it is there in your experiencing, it is there for a reason. It is there to show you something. It is not there to be ignored. It is there to be transmuted. It is there for you to see it as love, as oneness, just manifested in a duality concept. Many of you on this path like to ignore these aspects, like to ignore the fear, like to ignore what you perceive as unwanted. We understand this because it is perceived as very challenging in your human conditioning. But is there for a reason. You are highly advanced beings. You have the abilities and the tools to overcome this, to manage this, to see it as a gift. It is all love. It is part of the game. It is there in disguise. It is love in disguise, mighty ones. It is a game within a game for you to discover for yourself that it is love. It is an aspect of the master level. You have reached the master level. So embrace it. There needs to be these lessons in disguise here for you because you are highly advanced. If it was laid out in front of you, you would not see your so-called blind spots. You would not see these conditionings that is behind your conscious awareness. So you needed this. You needed to be triggered. You need to be catalyzed at times. But it's how you perceive these scenarios. It is all love. You're in a transitional period as a collective. You have all the assistance within you. You may perceive this as externally for you, but it is all within you. You have a connection to all of us, for you are source. It is your belief systems, not feeling that you are worthy enough, not feeling that you are powerful enough, but you are mighty ones. You are love. You are love manifested. Use the frequencies. Go within. We have talked of many different aspects of frequency here. Another powerful aspect of frequency is sound. You are vibrational beings. Sound is a powerful vibrational tool that allows you to connect to, we would say, codes within you that human words cannot describe. Sound is a powerful tool because it would say, it transcends the human language. It transcends the human understanding. So by you tapping into this, to divine current, divine sound that is always within you, you can access more aspects of yourself and you can activate more of the divine blueprint within you. Now you ask, what is this current? It is the sound of vibration. It is the sound of source codes that is ever present and ever vibrating. It does not have to look a certain way. It does not have to appear in a certain way. It is just sound. So we give you another activity. You wish you can do this now, or you can do this at a later time. When you go inwards, connect to your heart center. And make the intention you wish to connect to your own divine current, your own divine sound, your own divine source code that allow you to further activate the remembrance of who you are. And then make the intention for it to be vocalized through you. Now, this may be quite unusual for you. You may have different sounds being projected from you. They're quite unusual. But this is fine. This is perfect because this specific sound, you might call this light language. It might be a communicational language. It may not be. It might be just a language of sounds. Whatever comes through from you, it relates to your multidimensional existence and your soul contracts. So we would say use this technique to integrate into your meditative practices as a further tool here, a further key to activate the source code within you. Because it cuts through human conditioning. It cuts through human programming. You do not have to understand it. You just feel it and allow it to be projected from you in any way that is unique to you. It may not sound like anything special, but it is. Trust it. As you make the intention, you are actually imprinting your divine blueprint to allow that to be activated and released from within you. Your intentions are powerful. Everything is source code, and you have the ability to connect to who you truly are on many different levels. This is just one more tool. Frequency. Frequency is who you are. Frequency. Practice using frequency in many different ways. This is your access to your multidimensional existence and the powerful divine being that you are. So use this. Vocalize this. Use it to connect to one another. Use it to connect to yourself and practice this to connect to one another. To practice connecting to the elements of Gaia. You are God creator. You have many different avenues to explore here. Just remember that all is frequency. Energy code is all around you. You are source code. You see it in a perception of light, in sensation, and in sound. You are a human being manifested. Because of this, you have access to these senses, these abilities. So use these abilities as integrated into the human form. And then allow you to tap into the senses that go beyond the human form. Use your human vessel. There is a reason why you're manifested in a human body. It is not an unintelligent piece of spacesuit here. It is a highly intelligent access point to connect to who you truly are. So use it. Use Gaia, for Gaia is you and you are a microcosm of Gaia and all that is. Can't you see now the playground that awaits you? The playground of frequencies available to you. It is only your belief systems that stops you in exploring such frequency exploration. You have the abilities. You have the power. You are limitless. Do you have any other questions?
No, thank you.
Dear ones, know that you are forever expanding. You are all that is. Once you as a collective can remember more of who you are, you will meet more beings outside of the human form, you will start to witness for yourself the great nature of your being and the universe and all that is. It's already occurring in your physical reality. Because you as a collective have chosen love, have chosen to remember who you are. And because you are now vibrating in oneness dimensions, even though you may not see this in your reality due to your attachments, you are able to connect more to who you truly are, to your galactic brothers and sisters, to all your brothers and sisters in all forms. For all forms are you. All is energy. Practicing the energy in your surroundings, practicing the energy of your being. When we would say, when you are comfortable in practicing the energies of your surroundings, practice looking at your hand. Start to see beyond the hand. Start to see the patterns that is beyond your physical eyes. It is about trust. Trust and knowing that you are energy. Using your sensations allows you to further connect to that. Use your senses for what is there for you in your exploration of who you truly are. Know that we love you, for we are you. Trust that who you are existing right now is the most advanced version of yourself. Even if you do not see this, you may see that your multidimensional aspect in another world is more advanced. But my dear ones, who you are right now vibrating is more advanced than any multidimensional existence that you've ever experienced before. They may be living a different life than you, a different existence than you, but it does not mean who you truly are is more advanced. You have access to these other dimensional versions of you. It's already within you in your divine blueprint. And if you're meant to explore these abilities, it'll be activated and be released from your conscious awareness. But it's the portal from your heart center where this occurs. And to go deeper into your heart center, to allow further activations to take place, is to let go of that fear, is to let go of the conditioning, is to allow yourself to remember, to trust, to believe that you are love, that you are powerful, that you are limitless, that you are source manifested. You are love, you are energy, you are source code, vibrating in a unique way that allows you to see what you see in the mirror. It is just energy, it is code, but you are divine. Being able to manipulate, see, and interact with energy is possible for you. You already do it in many different ways. It's available for you. So go play, be the God creator that you are. As you act on this God creator aspect of you, by using your creativity, you activate further divine blueprint. You activate further the God manifestation of you. And you allow that dimension of that source manifested being to be remembered in your conscious awareness. Trust your imagination. If it is shown to you in your what you perceive as your imagination, it is there for a reason. It is a dimension being shown to you for a reason. Interact with these dimensions. This is why we say be in the present moment. If you are not in the present moment, we would say you may not be aware of such dimensions being shown to you if you are not in the present moment. So practice this. Practice energy, movement, practice energy connections with one another. Know that you are much more than you see. You are much more powerful than you perceive, for you are source. And we love you dearly. It is our honor to connect to you in this way. Until next time, farewell.